Hello, everybody! Back once again. Wait, what? I screwed up my intro. You know what? I'm keeping it. Hey, everybody, Flash Notion here, and we're going to be watching episode 20 of Season 8 of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, and this is going to be a very interesting one. So, if you've been keeping track of my Season 8 bingo card here, let me just see if this computer will actually work and bring it up. Yeah, I have a lot of stuff on here, but one of the things that I have on here is for certain characters to come back and make a reappearance with a speaking role. And one of those characters is Lightning Dust from, I forget which season it was. Was it season 2? Let's see, it would have been... God, what episode was that? It would have been... I don't think it was season 2. I'm looking at it right now, and I'm looking at season 2, and I don't see it on the list here, so it must have been season 3? Yep, Wonderbolt Academy in season 3. And Lightning Dust was a very interesting character, a foil to Rainbow Dash, a pony who is basically her equal in pretty much everything except for actual character. Rainbow Dash knew the importance of other ponies even when she's stroking her own ego. Most of the time. We mustn't forget about things like 28 Pranks Later. Oh, jeez. But regardless of that, Lightning Dust was an amazing character to have in the show, and she has not reappeared in 5 seasons. So, yeah, I want her back. And by all accounts, this is the episode where it happens. And I'm super freaking excited for that. Yeah, I'm just so happy for that idea, and there are a bunch of other characters that I would like to come back as well, but Lightning Dust is definitely one of those that's up at the top, and it will fulfill a bingo card, so I'm very excited. I don't know what this episode's going to be about, other than maybe a whole bunch of Wonderbolt Washouts coming back to form their own team, but who knows? Let's just find out. This ought to be an interesting one, so we will get started watching it in 3, 2, 1, play.
Order
Oh!
Pony. I hereby call to order this meeting of the Rainbow Dash Fan Club.
Been a while since we've seen this, back in Mysterious Ne'er-Do-Well. Oh dear, I wonder if,
Let's celebrate the
seriously, Dash.
Rainbow Dash. Yay, she's amazing now. If there's nothing else, that concludes this meeting of the Rainbow Dash Fan Club. Thank you all for coming. Any questions?
Yeah, what the heck?
Huh? Meeting adjourned.
What the heck, Scootaloo?
I'd like to call to order the first ever meeting of the newest and most exciting club, of which I am the president, founding, and only member, the Washouts Fan Club.
Excuse me? Also, Dash, that's creepy. Stop spying on your little sister. Even though she's not your sister. Scootaloo, we've been through this in Mysterious Ne'er-Do-Well. Your fan, whatever, is so fickle. There's going to be a lot of comparisons to Mysterious Ne'er-Do-Well, aren't there? I hope not too many, actually. But, God, if the situation at the beginning isn't very similar. You know Rainbow's gonna investigate the Washouts now. Who the hell are the Washouts?
Oh, hey, Scootaloo.
Oh, dear
I was
Lord.
just in the neighborhood. Oh, what's this?
Too late.
Interrupt your fan club meeting?
Hey, what are you doing here?
I could ask you the same question.
Come on, Dash. It's not that big of a deal.
Stuff. Definitely not starting a new fan club or anything.
Ha! It's no use pretending. I heard everything when I was outside eavesdropping like I do for every meeting.
You eavesdrop on every
Yeah, that's weird.
weird.
Yes, it is.
Well, sure, it sounds weird when you say it out loud. And I probably shouldn't because eavesdropping is wrong, but...
It's like, I know it's wrong, I'm gonna do it anyways.
Or other fan clubs.
Dang.
What is, the Washouts?
Only the newest and greatest and only stunt troupe in Equestria.
What?
Stunt troupe?
How
So,
can I explain it? Like the Wonderbolts, just 20 bajillion% cooler.
no.
20 bajillion?
They do all sorts of extreme stunts that focus on daredevilry and sheer guts, rather than boring old flight and formation junk.
Huh.
Flight and formation junk?
Are you just repeating everything I say?
Only because my brain feels like it's strapped to one of those rockets about to explode.
So you do. They are.
Rainbow, that's your brain like 90% of the time. You don't think.
Can you believe
Much.
she actually said that?
Well, yeah. Eavesdropping on every meeting is kind of weird.
Pinky, that's not what she meant.
She basically said that the Wonderbolts aren't cool. And it kind of sounded like she didn't think I was cool either.
Oh, look at all of them. They're just like, oh, Rainbow.
I mean,
You're
definitely not worried about
not
her
cool
looking up
anymore.
to some pony else. Nope, not at all.
Well, I'd understand if you were. It'd be like if Apple Bloom started loving bananas more than apples.
Applejack, you have a problem.
Y'all tell me if that ever happens, you hear?
You have a problem, Applejack.
Possibly
I don't even know who wrote this, by the way. I should have looked at it, but
They're doing a show in Ponyville this weekend?
Wow, they do look pretty amazing. Trying so hard to look. I mean,
okay, this might actually be funnier than last episode. Just because it's always good to see Rainbow knock down a peg. So, yeah, apparently lightning dust is behind all this, but...
knew we should have lined up last night.
Hey, there's some spots.
I'm sorry for making us late. Who would have guessed extreme chocolate?
Oh my god.
Took an extremely long time to bake.
Ew. But at least you got spots.
Look at this. It's a total Wonderbolts ripoff.
I
What
mean,
do you mean? The show hasn't even started yet.
Yeah, but look at what we're sitting on.
the same old bleachers.
Hello. The Wonderbolts have bleachers too. We practically invented
Dash.
sitting on bleachers.
You are not
And look at that.
the owner of
Popcorn and cotton candy. Rip up.
Dash. Just stop.
This is the time. This is the place. This is the team.
I mean, okay.
The Washouts!
Okay, so obviously lightning dust, but who are the other two? I don't even...
Quality confetti cannon work.
Pinky? I don't... What?
Oh yeah!
She's like, I am never washing this hoof again.
Washouts official motto. Leap before you look.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. Oh, that pony has a scar.
While they're amazingly
definitely not
awesome,
good.
The Washouts are highly trained professionals in protective, fireproof glide suits. Do not try this at home.
Ah, the Twidash. Dash is like, there's only one pony who can pull off those moves besides me.
She's not gonna make it.
That was insane. Woo-hoo!
I told
Come on, Rainbow. I mean, I was making fun of you earlier, but you do have a brain. Come on, figure this out. Who is that?
These guys.
Who was that? Who's capable of pulling off a move like that besides you?
I can't just go up and talk to them.
That
can if you're with
I recognize the one from last,
One of the
or was
reasons
it
that
last
we're
season?
paying
No, it
for
was
that
2
fan
seasons
club
ago.
is I'm fearless.
Was in the same class as Sky Stinger and Vapor Trail.
So, as a fellow aerobatic professional, I really enjoyed your show. Actually, you might recognize me since I'm pause for dramatic effect. Hey, Wonderbolt.
Join the club.
Okay.
No, I mean literally, join the club. We're called the Washouts because we all used to be Wonderbolts just like you.
Australian pony?
No way.
Yep. Name's Rolling Thunder. I got booted out of Wonderbolt Academy because of flagrant disregard for hazardous weather. If doing barrel rolls through 900 million volts of electricity in a raging thunderstorm is wrong, then I don't want to be right.
Okay.
Oh,
I gotta admit it, that's pretty awesome.
Nice to meet you.
what's your story?
Anger issues, get off my back!
I can see why Spitfire would kick you out.
Okay.
She's the only one who's allowed to yell at ponies.
The leader.
Only the most reckless ex-Wonderbolt of all time.
Come on, Rainbow. You recognize her. Don't you, please? Oh.
Lightning dust.
Rainbow Dash. Scootaloo. I'm Scootaloo. Hi.
Oh, dear Lord. So, how's this gonna shake out?
Dust. I should have known you were the brains behind a crazy idea like the Washouts. Or should I say, lack of brains.
Owned!
Really know each other? Oh my god!
Aw, she looks so adorable with those giant anime eyes.
Your friend got me kicked out of the Wonderbolt.
For good reason. Your attitude was not conducive to a team.
And it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Really?
Great to see you, Wing Pony. I heard you're a full-fledged Bolt now.
Yeah, well, I'm still...
Mad at me? Look, was it wrong of me to endanger the lives of your friends? Yeah. But hey, now I only endanger these knuckleheads.
Don't call me Knucklehead.
Come on, you know you miss me. Me and her, we blew every pony out of the sky.
Fair enough.
Really?
But only because you took
Yeah,
over and
really.
would
All that wind was totally dangerous. but
wouldn't
we
re-
fun,
had
right?
any regard for the
Two fastest times
rules.
on the Dizitron.
If I remember correctly, I had you beat by half a second.
Only because when I went, I cranked up the dizziness factor.
Yeah.
I'm glad it all
Yeah.
worked out. Your show was pretty dynamite.
Want another secret? We basically ignore everything the Wonderbolts ever taught us about safety.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
Well, we do have safety rules for a reason.
Don't listen to her, kid. All their rules were just ways of keeping their little club exclusive so they could feel good about themselves.
It's not about making any pony feel bad. It's about finding the best flyers. The best of the best.
I started the Washouts because I believe any pony can be the best of the best.
Scootaloo,
No,
you can't actually
Rolling Thunder
fly.
is gonna be out for a while.
During the finale, I caught the old hind leg in the crushinated jaws of Smash-A-Lot. Patent pending.
Wait, what?
There's a spot on the team.
Seriously,
if you want
Australian
to-
pony? My new favorite.
I appreciate the offer, but I'm already a Wonderbolt.
Although if she was truly Australian, she would be like, "Oh, this little thing is just a scratch. Just a scratch. I'm gonna be up in no time."
You?
That was totally a butchered
Aw,
accent.
cute.
I
But
hate it.
technically, you haven't washed out of the bolts, which is kinda our thing.
And also, no.
Oh, what if I joined and dropped out super quick?
That's it. You're coming with me
Where are we going?
Home.
to hear what the actual Wonderbolts think about you joining just to drop out for the Washouts.
Say hi to Spitfire for me.
Yeah, the Wonderbolts are way cooler though. Like all that individual stunt work is cool,
Ever seen
but
two simultaneous inverse displacement rolls before?
Would have been a lot cooler through the crushinator jaws of Smash-A-Lot patent pending.
I mean that's
You
pretty fair. But
See? This is what I was telling you about. I got this.
You know what happens when something goes wrong with the crushinator jaws of Smash-A-Lot?
Patent pending.
You end up in a full-body wing and hoof gas drinking through a straw!
But with enough practice.
Practice? Well, did do Let me give you a different scenario. You're probably saying to yourself, I'm young, I'm strong, I'm gonna go out there and stunt some tricks with my new friend, Lightning Dust. Well, I'm here to tell you that if you play that game, you're gonna find out it's pretty hard to stunt tricks in a full-body wing and hoof cast, dragging through a straw.
I think she gets the point.
I'm not finished!
Jeez, Spitfire.
As a kid, I used to be like you, telling myself, I'm gonna touch the sky.
I know.
Well, whoop-de-doodle-doo!
Oh my god. Extended Drill Sergeant Spitfire sequence is amazing.
Cause you're in a full-body wing and hoof cast.
And now she's got a new catchphrase aside from that's an Academy record.
I make myself clear. Excellent.
Scared her straight, I guess.
Have a hat.
Sorry, that was a little intense. I just want to make sure you don't get hurt. That way you can follow in my hoof steps. Every pony's dream, right?
More like follow your wing flaps.
Same difference.
Yeah.
Thanks, super talented flyer, for clearing up what I should do.
Clearing things up is one of my specialties. Now, come on.
Huh.
Rip up all your washout posters into tiny pieces and throw them off a cliff.
That is not what she wants to do.
I just thought of a great way to raise awareness for your original fan club. You know, the one about me?
Dash.
How about a silent auction where every item is just a picture of yours truly? Nah, I'm just kidding. That makes me seem too
Oh wow.
egotistical,
Is that
doesn't
an
it?
actual way to remove stickers?
If they're framed, it's like, wow, she's so humble, you think?
She's not even in there, Scootaloo.
Scootaloo?
Scootaloo's not even in it.
Scootaloo?
I mean, Scootaloo's done plenty of death-defying stunts before, and ow.
My fault. Sorry, Twilight?
Sorry, I was just,
Please tell me you got that stuff so you could rip it up and throw it off a cliff.
They were doing an autograph session before practice.
Seriously?
Aww.
You haven't seen Scoot, have you?
Actually,
I can't believe Scootaloo ditched me to watch them practice. Why can't she see how dangerous they are?
that's kind of the whole draw. It's exciting.
But it's like, the harder I try to convince Scoot they're dangerous, the more she likes them.
You can't.
She's an
control
adrenaline junkie.
Only yours.
I would love to see Cadence go to a show of
Like a
this.
role model.
Then again, Cadence has wings. She could participate.
What if she chooses them over me? She's gonna get hurt.
I think I know some pony else who might get hurt if that happens.
Maybe you're right. But this isn't about me. I'm just worried about Scoot.
Wow. You're really working hard on this new stunt.
What kind of sorry excuse written meal sandwich is this?
Wow.
Sorry, Dash. Autograph session's over. Unless you want to buy Short Fuse's limited edition half-eaten tomato sandwich.
I'm not signing that
Short
abomination!
fuse. That is
You
amazing.
haven't seen Scootaloo, have you?
Oh, isn't she that pony that used to respect you?
Oh.
I'd appreciate you helping me find her, so I can apologize for trying to make her quit liking you.
Oh, I'm pretty sure she still likes us.
Yeah, she's... Oh, you did... That crosses a line, Lightning Dust. That crosses a line. Definitely.
Lightning Dust, I know we go way back, but I can't let her do this.
I don't need you standing up for me.
Obviously you do, because you can't see how dangerous this is. Do you not remember what Spitfire said?
Ugh, let me guess.
You'll be in a full body wing and hoof cast, drinking through a straw. That doesn't even sound like Spitfire.
Actually, it does sound a lot like Spitfire.
Just because I look up to you doesn't mean I have to be you. But based on your definition of what makes some pony great, I have bad news. I'll never be the best of the best or a Wonderbolt because I can't fly. Is that what you wanted to hear?
I mean, it did kind
Not
of...
being able to fly doesn't mean I can't do something awesome, like strapping my scooter to a multi-stage liquid fuel rocket and 22 wagons lined up in front of a roaring crowd.
That does sound
That was awfully specific.
pretty awesome.
That's because it's what she'll be doing in the show tonight.
Um,
Half off for princesses. Bring your friends. Scootaloo, are you sure that's what you really want to do? Absolutely.
I mean, it does sound like something Scootaloo would do anyways. But, I mean, she needs more practice, and she's a little young for this,
You
and...
have to make your own decisions.
Good. Because I already have.
This is a bad idea. This is a very bad idea.
Sorry for making us late again. Who would have guessed Scootaloo's super difficult stunt special cupcakes would have been so super difficult to bake?
Wow.
Ooh-wee. Looks like all of Ponyville's here.
Rainbow Dash. Oh, dear.
And here to introduce the most dangerous stunt we've ever performed, it's your fearless captain, Lightning!
I like that announcer. That announcer's pretty awesome.
In just a moment.
Not to mention the flight helmets are really cool.
Rocket sledding down that hill, up that ramp, and over all 22 wagons to land on the other side in one piece.
Was one of those wagons on fire?
Put your
Or
hands
several of them?
together for Half Pine Dynamite! Lightning Dust, I have to tell you, I actually started Equestria's first Washouts fan club, as far as I know. So this is a real honor, ma'am. Do I call you ma'am? You land this jump? You can call me whatever you want.
I mean, fair.
Wow, that sure is dangerous? Nah. Well, maybe a little. Has any pony tested it before?
Nope! Also,
Where's the fun in that?
there's duct tape on it. And yeah, this is just 10 times bad idea. Jesus!
There's more? You're not thinking of backing out, are you?
Yes? I mean, any sane pony would?
Are you the president of my fan club or not? Of course, it's
Jeez.
you wouldn't want to get impeached for dishonoring my wishes, would you?
Can that even happen?
Is that a thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Light it up!
Why are they all on fire?
Oh, okay, no, I am thinking about backing out. Too late.
Jesus! Endangering children! This is, like, seriously. Where's... Holy crap! That
I know
was
I
fast.
let you make your own decisions, but that doesn't mean I can't swoop in and save you from time to time.
If I'd known you were gonna bail, I would have done the trick myself.
Great! So you won't mind how that rope's about to coil around your hoof.
Ah! Lightning Dust is blasting off again!
Other way!
I'm sorry for joining the Washouts. Lightning Dust wasn't who I thought she was.
Yeah, I
She
mean,
didn't care about me being scared or putting me in danger. She only wanted a good show. Even
Yep.
if it meant I got hurt. That's not the kind of pony I want to look up to.
yep.
I'm the one who should be apologizing for not acting like some pony who deserves a fan club. I've been lucky enough to have some pony who thinks I'm the coolest. But there's nothing cool about making you feel like you'll never be as awesome as me.
Yeah. I mean,
I think we should cancel the Washouts fan club. Because I know a fan club that could use some new members.
The Rainbow Dash fan club.
the Scootaloo fan club. Aww.
Welcome to the first ever meeting of the newest fan club for the awesomest, previously underappreciated pony in Ponyville. With founding member and President Rainbow Dash presiding, it's the Scootaloo Fan Club!
That's pretty cool. Hey! Boha and Windy Whistles.
Rainbow Dash was right. Eavesdropping on your own fan club isn't weird at all.
No, it's weird, but it's fun. Oh my god. I think I might have a new favorite episode of this season. That was awesome. It needs some thinking about, but this was an awesome episode. Oh boy. I mean, first things first, I'm gonna get the bingo sheet crossed out, but then I'm gonna think about this episode a little bit, and I'll be back with some thoughts, okay? Okay. Well, I'm back, and I haven't given it too much thought, but I feel like my brain's kind of settled down enough that I can actually think clearly in my ramblings. So, this was a hell of an episode. So the last time we had a Scootaloo and Rainbow Dash focused episode was, back in Parental Guidance, I think. I'm pretty sure it was anyways. Just looking through the list here at all the various Rainbow, or possible episodes from Season 7 on into Season 8. Yeah, we haven't really had anything focusing in on the relationship between Rainbow Dash and Scootaloo since that episode. So it's been more than a season, technically. At least more than a season's worth of episodes. And I paused for a moment because I was like, wait, did I accidentally X out of Audacity? No, I'm still recording. Thank goodness. But yeah, long gap, fairly long at least, between these episodes. And I think this one was, if anything, better than Parental Guidance. Like, Parental Guidance was a pretty decent episode all by itself, but this was something else. To start with, just having Lightning Dust back all by itself after 5 seasons, that's an amazing, amazing thing. And yeah, there are still a bunch of other ponies that I think deserve to come back from previous seasons. But if I had to choose one to come back, Lightning Dust probably would have been near the top. Simply because, yes, her relationship to Rainbow Dash makes her such an interesting character to have around, even if she is kind of one note. Basically just the most extreme flyer there can be, with little regard for safety and all that. And I do wish we could explore some other sides of her, like the possibility of her being related to Sky Stinger. It seemed like that was what the flashback was hinting at there. Like, she looked a lot like his younger sister there looked a lot like Lightning Dust, but I don't know. But in spite of the fact that they didn't really explore any new stuff with Lightning Dust, I'm glad that she's back, and I like that we've gotten an update of like where she is, what she's doing, and I feel like she's not gonna be out of it just yet. Like, yeah, she kind of screwed up here, but I feel like her and the rest of the Washouts are going to be doing just fine. They're still, like, they might have to issue an apology to everybody, or every pony rather, and they might face some restrictions on safety in the future going forward, like if you can't, like different venues being like, if you can't guarantee the safety of your own members and the audience, then you can't perform here. But just I think they'll do fine for themselves going forward. And what was Australian pony's name? Was it Rolling Thunder? If so, she's my new favorite. Just, God, she's amazing. I really love all the Australian stereotypes, and even though, like I said, I think if she were a true Australian stereotype, she would have been like, oh, this ain't nothing, it's just a little scratch, I'm gonna be right as rain for the next show. In spite of that, she's still awesome. And short fuse, I could take or leave, but whatever. He's fun. Glad they brought back that random character model. So yeah, just everything about the concept of the episode in and of itself was pretty good. As for the execution, I think that was pretty good as well. The start definitely gave off mega Mysterious Ne'er-do-well vibes in perhaps the worst possible way. Because, Mysterious Ne'er-do-well is an episode that almost everyone in the fandom has a dislike for. And, there's not really any episodes that I actively despise. There's just episodes that I actively avoid. Things like non-compete clause, it wasn't very good. I mean, I don't hate it like a lot of other people do, but I can see why they do, and I don't really like it. The last few mod episodes weren't that great. They weren't bad, but they weren't that great. Spike at Your Service, definitely not a good episode. But there's nothing really that the show has done so far that I have just absolutely been like, no to it. And so even Mysterious Ne'er-do-well is kind of just not a great episode. But I don't hate it. Anyways, what I was trying to say though was that I know a lot of other people do hate that episode, and so for this episode to start out with vibes of that episode might set a few people on edge. Like, oh, it's making me remember that episode. I don't like it. But I think even besides that, I think this might win over a lot of other people. Simply because it takes that similar premise of Rainbow Dash getting jealous of Scootaloo admiring someone else, basically, and having her own ego brought down a little bit, and it takes an interesting twist on it where it's like, okay, they unmask who it is a lot quicker. It's Lightning Dust. It's some pony that Rainbow Dash is familiar with and that she already has an issue with. Long-standing, really, and understandable. And they really kind of go out of their way there to make you question, like, at first, is Rainbow being the irrational one? And it's only when, really, oh god, I feel like I gotta sneeze. Anyways, it's really for me, the tipping point was the point where Lightning Dust allowed Scootaloo to be in the show. Number one, she didn't actually fulfill the requirements. Lightning Dust was clearly only doing it to spite Rainbow Dash. I feel like Lightning Dust could definitely give Trixie a run for her money in terms of deception and just bitterness, and being able to hide that bitterness too. Because no matter what she says, it's clear that Lightning Dust still feels like she was cheated out of her destiny, basically. Which I don't think is true at all. And I do feel like if Lightning Dust embraces the Washouts and what they can be, basically it would be like comparing... Oh god, what could it be comparing? Like the difference between a swimming race and synchronized swimming, I don't know. There's not many things where you can compare them. Like, off the top of my head, I want to say motocross versus, like, X Games versus actual motocross racing, but it's not quite the same thing. Like, the thing is that the Wonderbolts are an active military group. They clearly also put on the stunt shows and whatnot there, with synchronized flying, with a focus on, keeping everything together and doing cool formations and working as a team, which is good. It's great. It's an awesome thing. And it can be very beautiful to see, as we've seen in the show. The Wonderbolt shows can be really awesome. But there's also a place for ponies who are for extreme flying, like what the Washouts are doing. Stunts, individual glory, just all around awesomeness that doesn't require a lot of teamwork, and really focuses more on how hard each individual pony can push themselves. There's a place for that. It's not a healthy place, I don't think. I will never think that, but there's a place for it. And it seems like it could also be pretty awesome to watch. I've lost track of what I'm trying to say here. Right. If Lightning Dust just focuses in on that and is like finds it in herself to forgive Rainbow Dash and whatnot, she has an awesome destiny ahead of her. I don't feel like that's going to happen. And we have another season, so it might be possible for Lightning Dust to show up again, and I mean, that would be kind of cool. But I feel like if she does show up again, then much like Trixie, she needs to get a proper redemption. By comparison, Trixie's first appearance, she was an antagonist, but she wasn't like a completely malicious antagonist. Whereas in her second appearance, Magic Duel, she was, and then at the end of it, she was more or less reformed. But when she came back, she still displayed some antagonistic tendencies, and at the end of that episode, she was completely reformed. 3 episodes is what it took for Trixie. Lightning Dust has the possibility of getting a 3rd episode next season, because I doubt she'd get 2 of them in one season. If she does come back next season, her 3rd episode, if they want to continue the pattern, would be the full redemptive episode. On the other hand, unlike Trixie, Lightning Dust started this episode seeming like she was redeemed, or not necessarily redeemed, but reformed, and she ended it explicitly being an antagonist here, and not a good pony. So it would be it would be interesting to see her come back again and see where they go with that. But I think to do that, they would definitely have to explore some aspect of her character outside of just her antagonism to Rainbow Dash and being a foil to Rainbow Dash. So maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Anyways, God, I've completely lost track of what I was trying to say here. Right. Execution-wise, we started off with Mysterious Mirror Duel and feeling like that. There's also some comparisons to Magic Duel, as I said there. But just overall, the execution of the episode and bringing back Lightning Dust and having Scootaloo be very worshipful of this new group, and they are awesome, and then Rainbow Dash admitting, yeah, they're pretty cool, but then it turns out it's Lightning Dust, and it turns out they basically have no regard for their own safety or the safety of anyone else who wants to be involved in the group. And at that point, you really gotta realize that, yeah, it's like Rainbow's right. However, they ended it on a much better note than Mysterious Mirror Duel, because in Mysterious Mirror Duel, Rainbow Dash was like, oh yeah, I screwed up, you guys were totally right. And it was the same thing happened in 28 Pranks Later, basically. And everybody in the fandom basically agrees that both of those episodes were bad episodes. I don't agree. I do think that they weren't executed the best, but I think that what they were going for, Rainbow Dash having to basically be on the receiving end of her own ego, in a way, and that's how she learns, I think that's fine. It wasn't executed the best, but it's fine. And that's the part that most people seem to take issue with. Not how it was executed, but the actual core part of that. So, I am kind of glad that this episode, because it's a good episode, didn't go that route, and they actually had both Scootaloo and Rainbow Dash apologize for their behaviors. Scootaloo basically being like, I should have listened to you, I'm sorry I didn't, and Rainbow Dash being like, no, I'm sorry that I basically was acting in a way that made you think you shouldn't listen to me. And they were both right. And they were both right to apologize. And they both did, so it's great. I also like just the continuous Twidash stuff in this episode. that I've always been pretty partial to that ship. It's a pretty fun ship. But just the way, just the almost casual way they went about it, where Rainbow is most concerned about Twilight appreciating this new group. For that matter, the fact that Twilight is the one to actually appreciate this new group instead of Applejack or Pinky, really. I mean, they both were fairly appreciative of it. But Twilight is the one who seems the most excited, and is the one who Rainbow shows the most, like, what the hey reaction to. And I love that. It's it's amazing. So yeah, all around, just the way that this episode went, it was executed really, really well, I feel like, for all the characters and all the ways that they interacted and everything. I also can just appreciate how hilarious this episode was. Like, last episode, the Starlight and Trixie one, that one was funny as hell. This one was on a completely other level. It was just like, what the heck? Oh, wow. Hang on. Am I the only one who just finds it... I'm going back through the episode now, but am I the only one who finds it just a little bit creepy that Rainbow Dash has some full-on adult fans? Like, what the heck? Also, the extreme posters and merchandise and whatnot. Nick Confalone wrote this. Holy shit, no wonder it's such a good episode. But yeah, the posters and whatnot for the Washouts look absolutely amazing. I would put those up in my room as they are, even on like the way that they look in the episode. I would put those up on my wall. They look amazing. And Pinkie Pie's repeated gag of the cupcakes, that's pretty good. Rarity looks a little bit weird right there for some reason. Whatever. Yeah, I gotta look at the cast to see who the announcer pony was. I like that the Student 6 are in the audience. That's pretty good. Scootaloo was cute throughout pretty much the entire episode. I just clicked it at a perfect moment where Rolling Thunder winked at one of the female ponies in the audience, and that pony fainted. That's amazing. That is just amazing. And the look of surprise on that pony's face, followed by the look of, like, dreamy, like, Wow. I mean, I kind of agree. Like I said, she is my favorite Australian pony. Wow. She didn't do barrel rolls through the electricity, though, in the actual stunt show. Twilight popping Rainbow's mouth back closed. It's weird that they never used the loop-de-loop in the entire show. But seriously, no, though, Rainbow should have realized a little bit sooner that Lightning Dust was the one who was the leader, because, like, who else but Lightning Dust could keep up with... Like, Rainbow Dash could do those stunts if she really wanted to. Who else but Lightning Dust can keep up with Rainbow Dash? Literally no pony else. And then just going... Scootaloo's face when she meets them was really incredible. Like, all of her faces. So many faces. And Rolling Thunder. Just so many levels of awesome. Lightning Dust's introduction, the clear antagonism, even though she says she is forgiven. Yeah, just very obvious there. Well, not very obvious. I did fall for it. I was like, oh, well, yeah, that makes sense. You know, like, she's moved on with her life. She wouldn't have had this opportunity if she had joined the Wonderbolts. And if Rainbow Dash hadn't gotten her kicked out when she did, horrible things probably would have happened. So, I fell for it a little bit. That she'd moved on, but in hindsight, it's very clear that she didn't. And then just takes her straight to the Wonderbolt Academy. Perfect. And the extended sequence of Spitfire being a drill sergeant, I love it. It's new catchphrase. I need to actually see what was said, see it written down before I can remember it, but I love that that's apparently what she threatens all of them with. I want DWK to do this episode. DWK's interpretation of this episode would be incredible to see. Just because the way he does the Wonderbolts, and especially Spitfire, is really fun. And I can only imagine how he'd do Lightning Dust. Like, his interpretation of Lightning Dust would be great. But, yeah, Scootaloo doesn't really respond to it all that well. And the reasoning behind it, I have to talk about that now. Damn. It always hurts getting reminded that Scootaloo can't fly and will never fly. And I can only imagine how much Applegeek is going to actually talk at length for, like, oh, this is the confirmation that Scootaloo will never fly, you know, that sort of thing. Personally, I don't see it being that big of a deal because it's been long accepted by the fandom that Scootaloo will not fly, that she is disabled, and that's a thing. The interesting thing to me is the fact that Rainbow Dash apparently did not quite realize that Rainbow Dash was maybe still operating under some kind of delusion that Scootaloo would one day be able to fly. That's interesting because, well, okay, I don't really have a because. It just is very interesting. I'm sure if I gave it a lot more thought, I could actually come up with a few specific reasons. Sorry, I just got distracted by the fact that the model for the treehouse includes a random board that has 2 nails in it for no apparent reason. That's just weird to me. But anyways, no, Rainbow Dash wanting Scootaloo to join the Wonderbolts like her and grow up to basically be a mini her, like, understandable. Completely understandable, but obviously never going to have happened. And I do have to wonder how Rainbow could have been so blind as to think that, yeah, Scootaloo is someday going to be able to fly. Like, no, she won't. If she can't fly at this point in time, no, she's long past the point in life where she should have been able to fly. And even if she ever does gain the ability to fly, she's going to be even worse at it than Fluttershy. And that's saying something. But I suppose it could also just be that Rainbow didn't really want to acknowledge that Scootaloo would have to live with her disability because, well, it's something that I was reminded about on recently, is that a lot of times disabled people or ponies, they just live with it. For a lot of other people living on the outside, it's a thing, you know, they're disabled, they have this thing that's holding them back, it seems like, and makes it so that they can't do things the way that other people do, but it's not really true. Like, yeah, it can be a bit difficult, and certainly there are things that aren't made to accommodate people in, say, wheelchairs or whatever, but disabled people tend to live like that, especially if it's a long-term disability that they've had since they were born or since they were a child or something like that. It's not, how can I put this? It's not a case, it's not always true, I suppose. You know, in some cases, people with disabilities may be like, oh, poor woe is me, I'm disabled now, I wasn't before. Probably especially if it's a case of, like, later in life, they suddenly are unable to move without a wheelchair or something. I can imagine that happening. But in Scootaloo's case, like, she's never been able to fly. And yeah, for a while, like, especially around Flight to the Finish, she was kind of upset about not being able to fly. But I think she's long since kind of come to terms with that until now, when Rainbow's kind of shoving it in her face that, oh yeah, you'll never fly. You'll never be me. And Scootaloo was kind of like, well, if being you is the only way to impress you, I don't want to be you. That sort of thing. So, there's an issue there. What was I saying, though? God, I was trying to make the point of that disabled people it shouldn't be a thing. You know, like, yeah, a person is differently abled, but they're still abled in a way. Like, they can still do things. They might have to do things a different way, but they're still able to do things. Just because someone's in a wheelchair doesn't mean they can't, for fuck's sake, climb Mount Everest if they really wanted to. Seriously, like, mountain climbing for a person in a wheelchair? I have to imagine that it might actually be a little bit easier because their arms would be stronger, probably. Unless they're quadriplegic, in which case it might be a little bit harder, but just, there are ways, especially in modern times with modern technology, that people who are differently abled can still do things, and Scootaloo can still do things. She might not be able to fly, but she can still do things, and that's awesome. And it should be acknowledged, and I feel like Rainbow kind of forgot about that a little bit. She forgot that just because bleh! My tongue stopped working massively. I need a drink. Gotta drink. So, what I was trying to say was that Rainbow has always known that Scootaloo won't be able to fly. She just kind of didn't want to think about it, didn't want to acknowledge that, and because she kind of has a bit of a prejudice towards flying, and she wanted Scootaloo to be able to fly, and she felt like if Scootaloo wasn't able to fly, that would somehow make Scootaloo's life worse. And that's not the case, and she kind of needed reminding of that, and this episode did that. There we go. Okay, back to actually just going through the episode here and looking for cool things to talk about. I already talked about the Twidash stuff. It's an extended sequence of Twidash stuff, of Twilight talking to Rainbow and trying to help her, and wow. Just wow. Okay, that's kind of funny. Apparently during the trick that Scootaloo was supposed to be doing, apparently she was supposed to do multiple backflip barrel roll type things. I also like that apparently there was real math and thought put into it. Like, it might not have been tested, but apparently Lightning Dust was pretty confident in it succeeding. She must have miscalculated somewhere. Moving on. Yeah, some very real parental fear for this episode, and I can totally see why it's listed on the Nightmare Fuel page of TV tropes. Yes, I was looking up on TV tropes the last episode, and yeah, it's very understandable why this would be on that, because like there's some real fear for Scootaloo's life in this case, and like it would have been bad enough without the wagons being put on fire. Like why were they put on fire? That was just dumb. Also, a new use of Pinky's hair. Apparently she can stab things with it. Jeez. Sorry, that's a little concerning. Once again, that announcer is really cool. So yeah, and the helmets are really cool too. Like, performance-wise, the Washouts know how to put on a good performance. They just brought in a newcomer and everything went to hell. Props to Scootaloo, though, for staying on the road coming down that hill. Like, she's steering her Scootaloo at her... What? Wait, what? She's steering her scooter at super high speeds, and she's still managed to keep it under control. Also, just, damn, Rainbow's rescue right there. That was amazing. Like, that she flew that fast and didn't actually do a Sonic Rain Boom. Like, it might have been actually cooler if she did the Sonic Rain Boom. Like, can you imagine? Like, where it's all like, oh my god, Scootaloo. And everybody in the audience is like, oh my god, Scootaloo. Even Lightning Dust and the fellow Washouts are all like, oh my god, Scootaloo, I might have there was a miscalculation here. But then all of a sudden, over the hilltop, boom! Sonic Rain Boom, and all of a sudden, Rainbow Dash just goes right past. That would have been really cool. A bit of a missed opportunity right there, especially since all it would have taken is some slight extra animation. It wouldn't even have required any extra lines, and it technically wouldn't have required any extra time either. It would have, not really. No, they could have just sped up Rainbow Dash's actual flight by a couple seconds. So nothing really there. I also like the way that they did the rope coiling thing. That was good. That was hilarious. And, yeah, I imagine we'll be seeing the Washouts again at some point. If not in an actual episode, about them, then there will definitely be a callback. Also, I love Scootaloo's flight suit. Can she keep that and just wear it occasionally? Seriously? That looks awesome. Okay, we get the lessons here. And then, yeah, the Scootaloo fan club. That is perfect. That definitely needs to continue. Okay, let's... Who is all in this? Looks like it's all the same ponies as the Rainbow Dash fan club. Wait, that was Bon Bon? Oh my god. Bon Bon, why are you in this club? You're even more awesome. You're a secret agent. What the heck? But no, Rainbow's parents are in this club. That's pretty cool. God, that hat when you whistles. Why do you have that hat? Where does she get those hats custom made? Because she has one of her daughter too. But no. So yeah, just overall, this was an amazing episode. Definitely gonna be top 5 of the season, if not the top episode. Just damn. And I can't wait to see what everybody else thinks of it too.